One of these printers will save you a couple $100 up front, and the other will save you in the long run.
Well, maybe. It depends on how you use it, but which one is right for you?
The Kobra X was just released in March of this year, and now the Kobra 4 and the Kobra 4 combos are available for presale. In this video, I will be putting all three head to head. The Kobra X is built for multicolor printing, and if you use it a lot, over time it can save you quite a bit of time and material. But the Kobra 4 comes in at a much lower price, and for a lot of people, that might be all you need.
Before we start, I do want to let you know that Anycubic did send me this pre-release Kobra 4 combo to test out and showcase here, but all thoughts and test results in this video are my own.
Let's start with a quick look at the Kobra X. This printer started shipping in March, and at first glance, it looks like a pretty standard bed slinger.
But there's one key difference, the Ace Gen 2.
Instead of needing an external filament changer, it's built right into the toolhead. That means you could print up to 4 colors without taking up extra space, and it's also designed to save both time and material.
Then I received the Kobra 4 combo, and this was before it was even announced, so I had no idea what to expect.
The first thing I noticed was that it looked almost identical to the Kobra X. Same frame, same layout, just a different printhead. No Ace Gen 2.
So my first question was, why release both of these printers?
To figure that out, I'll test all three printers side by side, testing speed, quality, multicolor performance, and real-world use to figure out which one actually makes more sense depending on how you print. Let's start with a small fast print. My first print on the Kobra X was the 14-minute Benchy that comes preloaded on the printer, and I ran the same file on the Kobra 4. The Kobra X finished in just over 13 minutes, and the Kobra 4 came in just under 14 minutes. Side by side, I really don't see a difference in quality. They're not perfect, but for 14 minutes, they both look great.
The Kobra X was slightly faster, but both finished under 14 minutes.
Next, I ran the 45-minute Benchy on both printers.
And as expected, the quality is better here than the 14-minute version, especially in the very small details. But again, no real difference between the two printers.
So if you're printing in a single color, you're getting very similar results.
Now let's talk about multicolor printing. This is where you're going to see a real difference.
Out of the box, both the Kobra 4 and the Kobra X can print up to 4 colors.
And you can expand that up to 8 colors on the Kobra 4 and up to 19 on the Kobra X with additional Ace Pro units. The standard Kobra 4 only prints 1 color unless you upgrade later, but you can still get up to 8 colors with 2 Ace Pro 2s. Before you start printing multicolor, there's one file you'll definitely want to print first. So I printed this Purge bucket file that's pre-installed on the Kobra 4 combo. There are also others to choose from on Maker Online. Now there are other 3D printers that have multiple nozzles and multiple print heads that eliminate purge waste completely, but those are also 3 times the price. Since these printers do have purge waste, I want to test that out, and to do that, I'm going to print my dog.
I made a cartoon 3D model of my dog Oreo using AI tools in my last video. Here it is printing on the Kobra X, and here it is printing on the Kobra 4 combo. Both printers handled the print fine with no issues.
Everything may look the same, but this is where the real differences come in. When these printers switch colors, it has to cut and purge the filament.
The Kobra X has a much shorter distance between the cutter and the nozzle, about half compared to the Kobra 4.
That means less filament gets purged every time,
and that can add up fast.
The Kobra X took about 42 seconds per color change. Don't worry, I'll speed it up. The Kobra 4 combo took about 1 minute and 5 seconds.
And this print has over 500 color changes. That's almost 5 hours saved on a single print. The total print time for the Kobra 4 combo was just over 21 hours, and the Kobra X was about 16 hours. And the waste, the Kobra X was about 142 grams of waste, and the Kobra 4 combo was about 283 grams. So with the Kobra X, you're using about half the material and saving a lot of time. For quality, both prints looked great overall, but I did notice the white and pink look cleaner on the Kobra X, even with less purge waste. My guess is that the Kobra 4 settings are still being tuned since the printer's not even released yet. By the time it comes out, you should expect more waste, but also better quality. All 3 printers have the same build volume, 260 by 260 by 260 millimeters, or just over 10 inches in each direction, which makes it slightly larger than its competition. And for the space needed, they're about 12 inches wide at the base, but closer to 19 inches at the widest points. You'll want about 24 inches from the front to back to allow for the bed movement. And for the height, the Kobra 4 combo will need about 19 inches, the Kobra X and the standard Kobra 4 will need about 28 inches. And the Ace Pro unit needs its own space, but you can place it on either side. Next, I tested a large print, maxing out that same model of my dog Oreo. My daughter wanted to paint this one, which also saved me a couple thousand filament changes. I intentionally used a spool that didn't have enough filament to see what would happen. The app notified me when it ran out, so I swapped the filament and the print continued with no issues. I also tested the refill feature on the Kobra X. I was hoping it would automatically replace the filament, but I got the same notification and had to change it manually. And last, I tested the Kobra 4 using the Ace Pro. That worked automatically with no interruption, as long as you have multiples of the same filament and you have auto refill enabled. Oh, right, back to my Oreo model. After 11 and a half hours, the print is done. Now I just need to remove the supports and give it to my daughter to paint. And here's the finished painted model. I think my daughter did a great job. Let me go through some of the other features of these printers. I'll start with the one that I feel is a bit limited, the camera and AI detection. You can create time lapses, but this is what it looks like. And it does have AI spaghetti detection, which does work, but the camera only sees one side of the print, so it won't catch everything. It's still useful, but I wouldn't rely on it completely. There's plenty of other features that I do like. The active noise reduction. Both the Kobra X and the Kobra 4 run between 40 to 60 decibels. These printers have LevelQ auto leveling for solid first layers. Definitely beats the manual leveling I had to do on my first printer. They also have vibration compensation for better quality prints. Plus, I like the quick change nozzles. I prefer the Kobra 4 here because the nozzle is easier to reach than on the Kobra X. Another great feature is being able to exclude one or more objects. This stops a failed object from continuing to print, which can prevent it from ruining the others. With the Ace Pro 2 that comes with the Kobra 4 combo, you can dry your filament before or during your print. Your filament needs to be dry to get the best quality prints. And some filament types are more likely to absorb moisture and give you issues. I also like having the Anycubic app on my phone. It'll send me a notification if there's an issue, and I can also check the print at any time without having to be right next to the printer. So all three options are packed with features. After testing out these printers, it started to make sense why Anycubic made them using almost identical parts and technology to drive down cost. At the time of filming, the Kobra X is available for $299. I was just told by Anycubic the lowest price for the Kobra 4 will be through AliExpress, with the Kobra 4 at $199 and the Kobra 4 combo at $299. I'll be sure to put the link in the description. That's really not a bad deal for all the features that you get with these printers. As long as you're not planning on printing nylon, ABS, or any other filaments that would need an enclosed printer, all three options are a solid choice. But which one's right for you? If you plan on printing a lot of multicolor, you're not going to find a better option than the Kobra X in this price range. If you're new to 3D printing or you just plan on printing in one color, the Kobra 4 is going to be the lowest price to get you started. Just keep in mind it's going to be more expensive to add multicolor later, which is why I think the Kobra 4 combo is the best value. The Ace Gen 2 keeps your filaments dry before and during prints. I like having the option of multicolor, but most of my prints are one color and then I finish and paint them later, like what you see behind me. If I am printing multicolor, it's usually because I'm making toys for my kids or I'm making a YouTube video about multicolor printing. And if you design your models right, you can limit the number of color changes. This keychain only has 2 color swaps. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to click the links in the video description and check current pricing. Please consider subscribing and check this out next. Thank you for watching.